Happy day from Malaysia. Today we're gonna look at the gear that I'm reusing to ride around the world. So let's come with me and dive into it. So the bags of Camely are all empty and it's everything prepared over there. We're gonna go over the products just step by step. There's some compartment with more like camping equipment and cooking, the main riding gear, the tools and spare parts, and also the electronics. So we kick it off with the main riding gear. I'm wearing this showy helmet, which you might seen before. I'm wearing a jacket and pants by Stadler, which are all-weather proof kind of. And I'm wearing the CD boots with full protection. Why did I choose this equipment? I mean, like, I don't need to change. I don't need to put a cover on when it's raining. It's ventilated. However, I still think like in these countries like Malaysia here, it is too hot and I'm sweating quite a bit. The CD boots high up here, I chose them because they are just like safe, right? The motorbike can fall on my legs and not a lot will happen. So it's just like for protection purposes. And I can walk in them quite nicely. I'm using leather gloves. Which are also a bit warm here from Malaysia, but until 30 degrees they are perfectly fine. When it comes to colder weather, obviously I have some winter gloves. I have this kidney protection, and all the time also here I'm wearing this kind of cap or head cover underneath the helmet, just to prevent all the sweat going into the helmet directly. So yeah, that's about kind of the main riding gear. If it is getting colder, like below 10 to 15 degrees, I have this soft shell jacket, which I just wear underneath the main jacket. Yeah, I'm carrying this beautiful guitar. Since Malaysia here, I love playing it and it's so cool to have it again. And obviously to have the style, also have this beautiful hat from Langkawi. But let's look at the more kind of interesting things into the spare parts and tools. So with regards to spare parts, give you a brief overview. I'm carrying seals for the fork. I'm carrying bearings for the rear wheel, the front wheel, and the steering. I'm carrying some cables and plugs. I'm carrying front and rear wheel brake pads. And I'm carrying levers for left and right for the handlebar. If I want to do oil change, obviously I need to have this thing here to kind of get the oil precisely in, oil filter, and if you put your stuff together, don't forget to bring one of these kind of keys here, because otherwise you'll not be able to get it in or out. There are some oil filters that come with a kind of opportunity to open them and close them without such a big key, but if you don't have them, then what shall you do? So then obviously levers for tire change. I use these two sometimes just to protect also the rims. I'm carrying two torque wrenches, one small and one larger one, that bring me all from 2.5 to 120 Newton meters. I'm carrying this tool set, which is made for Japanese motorbikes. So that's kind of perfect, some gloves. And also here I carry this spare clutch cable, which I still need to build on, but just in case, right? So for electronics, I'm carrying a multimeter. I'm carrying an ODB. Obviously, I'm carrying also some of this metal strings here to kind of repair things on the go if something breaks. I have lubrication inside, different oils and stuff. I carry air filter oil, universal oil, silicone oil for everything that comes with plastic, and chain lube and chain cleaner. I carry one sharp knife, a fire lighter, some protection from the mosquitoes, and here I have anti-seize paste, Loctite, and some epoxy glue, two kind of components, and kind of some metal that you can form. I'm also carrying this edding to mark my screws. So for the camping equipment, I'm carrying a foldable sleeping pad, a inflatable sleeping pad. I'm carrying this Helinox Chair 1. I'm sleeping in a Hubba Hubba 2-person NX tent because it gives just more space also to put the gear inside. Obviously a footprint to protect the tent. Poles, I carry now also a mosquito net. I want to sleep well, so I have this pillow, toiletries, the down sleeping pad, a sleeping bag, which will allow me to go down to 0 degrees comfortably. A silk sleeping bag, which I'm using when it's very hot, because it just feels more comfortable to lie on the sleeping pad. A towel. Then when it comes to camping, also obviously we have to look at the stove, and stove here, the pot, some olive, normally comes with olive oil and some spices inside. Like here we have the pot, which is kind of made from silicone, like a plate, cutlery, a kitchen cloth. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like cooking and camping here. Obviously toilet paper, most important thing. When we look a little bit further down here, what we can see, I have some ropes and things to kind of tie down. Also a ratchet here. Cleaning water, the steri pan. I have a rain jacket to train a little bit, stay fit from the Decathlon, some rubber bands. When it comes to water supplies, I carry this Nalgene 1 liter bag, bottle, a 2 liter water bag, which goes in the rear of the Moscow Moto, and the 10 liter water bag if I go into more like dry areas. I'm covering my bike with this Oxford cover, which I can really very much recommend. Here's a ball from the local football club of my hometown, FCA. I'm reading books every now and then. First aid. I'm carrying this general first aid bag. Here I have specific things in. Here I have like medicine inside. Obviously always handy the sun blocker, disinfection, and wilderness wash. Also a tape here. I think that's pretty much it on this end. Let's go around on the other side and see what we have in there. Okay, I'm carrying this backpack. Obviously here clothing is in. We will not go through the normal clothing because I think that's boring. Spare tubes. Rear tire, front tire. Put in baby powder. I carry 2 locks, one for the front wheel, which comes with an alarm. And this is for the rear wheel, just mainly so it's better visible that the bike is protected. And also I can put up this rope from the rear wheel back to the front so I can remind myself it's locked. I have a hand pump for fuel, and I also once pumped oil out of Camely before. I have this emergency cover for heat and for cold areas. I carry a worn kind of jacket here. And inside I have glue, plastic glue. I can really recommend to carry this plastic glue. You can glue everything that comes with plastic. It's the full fix. Go for it, really good. So with regards to safety also, because I have the soft bags, I carry these 2 locks. I carry some spare Bowden cables. In here we have the pre-oiled air filter. For cold areas also a cap. So I think that's pretty much it also now on this side. So let's move over to the electronics, because electronics is also very important these days. So what do we do here? So electronics coming here from the bike. This is a electrical air pump, and I also carry a small hand pump just in case the air pump here really would break. Obviously converter for electronics, ideally with a power outlet for USB. I carry music because I love to listen to music. This is the GPS mobile phone, very cheap one, but bright display. I find this a very easygoing solution. I'm editing all on an iPad. I'm carrying kind of two power banks, the batteries for the GoPro, a hard disk drive to kind of back up all the raw footage from the camera, a little tripod and charger and the respective cables for everything. I'm using this kind of hub to be able to kind of connect several devices to the iPad. Yeah, you can see I have this old GoPro here, which I use just sometimes if I do multi-purpose stuff. A bright light with LED. And obviously the drone in here. This is another hard disk drive SSD to kind of do faster editing. The microphone, and this is kind of the tank bag which I'm using, which is also easy going. Most of the electronic just like goes in here and it's all easy peasy. We will now go a little bit more into details of the products. So stay with me if you want to get like more information. So guys, I'm going through some of the products just to explain like why am I using them, to just like give you the opportunity to follow my thoughts and then make up your own opinion. Just if you have any thoughts about it or any questions, just let me know in the comment so I can help you also put together your ideal set of gear. So we're starting again from the helmet. Why did I choose this helmet and not an adventure helmet? I can open the bottom of the helmet, and that just means like I can be visible with my full face when I come to kind of border controls or police controls, and I can just appear much more friendly, which makes it more easy in the end. I wear sunglasses to protect myself from the sun, so I don't really need an adventure helmet. It looks cooler, I have to confess, but I mean like I'm very good with that one. Why do I use one more like high quality gear and not a cover above it? Because I think it's just an additional piece to carry. These Gore-Tex things, they are great. So as said, like I can open the zips and close the zips. If it's getting colder, I just close them. If it's raining, I just close them while I'm riding. And if it's warm, I just open them and the ventilation goes through the body. So when we look a little bit further to the camping gear, maybe some questions that came up is like, why did I choose that specific sleeping mat, the XP Dura 5R? It's also like the long white version actually here, yeah? So why did I choose that? I had like the Nemo Tensor insulated before, which just like broke too easily. This one is used by the German Bundeswehr as far as I know, so it's really strong. It's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more heavy, but I know this will gonna make it through the trip. Why do I carry another sleeping pad? I mean, like this has a different purpose. I can now just like kind of lie down here later and have an easy kind of opportunity to rest a little bit on the go. Also, I put this inside the tent next to the unfolded sleeping pad to just like have the whole bottom of the tent kind of covered. I can put the gear onto it and I don't need to be careful about stones underneath that would maybe break the tent itself. It's good to have space inside and put the gear inside so it's not getting stolen and also it's not getting wet while I'm sleeping overnight. Yeah, so this Oxford thing, why did I choose to carry it? I mean, like I said, I have these soft bags, guys, and wherever I put the motorbike and I don't feel like it's behind a gate or really safe or people are walking around, I just put the cover over it. People don't see what's underneath and I feel much more comfortable having my soft bags out there and all the stuff, because people just don't get like the idea of looking underneath or kind of stealing things because they just see it, right? So this ratchet can obviously be used to kind of fix the bike if I need to put it on a truck somewhere. And together with these two ones, I think I can manage quite a bit. This one I can also use for towing. So there's some opportunity with that. These ones I use to kind of fix my tire onto the motorbike. This one I use when I camp and have to hang up some clothing stuff. So this is always good to have, I think. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, which is so important to think of, is you can't have enough plastic bags or bags that help you to kind of organize yourself, right? I'm using all these bags to put things inside, put them together where it makes sense to just have things packed together. It makes life so much easier. Collect them before your trip and use them wisely to make your life more easy on the road. So when it comes to tire change, I chose these a little bit more expensive eastbound products, but I think they are actually quite good. They're made of lightweight aluminium. They are strong, and I used them to change the tires before, more or less successfully, but I think it was also a little bit about the right technique. I think in the future I will be able to really do the tire work with them much more easily. Why am I carrying this heavy torque wrench? Actually, I only carry it since I'm here in Southeast Asia. I didn't carry it while I was riding through the stands because I thought, like, if I need really something to kind of tighten correctly, I'm gonna find a torque wrench anywhere or somewhere. To be honest, all on the way, they don't have these things. In these kind of second world countries, third world countries, they don't have it. And actually, I want to do things myself on the motorbike. Camely has lots of steel and aluminium kind of bolt connections, and I have no experience kind of what point of time I'm kind of overbending it. So I better carry it before I kind of hurt my motorbike. And I mean, like, in the end, like, weight matters, that's true, but in the end also you want to be like safe and don't destroy your motorbike, right? So this is kind of a trade-off, I guess. When it comes to kind of spare parts and things, I wanted to show you this box. I have a few kind of spare screws with me. Duct tape, always good to have. Silicone oil, also for the more silicone grease for the zip ties. Obviously I carry some spark plugs. Down there you can see the spare bearings. And obviously I have, just if something happens to the chain, right, I can fix that. I have kind of patching material for the tube. Some kind of, I don't know, like for clothing repairs. Always good to have, I guess. Adjustment for the helmet. I think that's pretty much in here. The other box, so we can see, it's just some cables and some plugs. Here are fork sealings from SKF. The other set already broke because I put them on in the side bag. I thought they're made of rubber, but inside there's kind of some metal and it bended, so they are gone. What I can also recommend is to get like a shortcut plug ready if your side stand sensor breaks. So overall, I'm sure I'm carrying quite a bunch of things. This is not the amount every overlander or hardcore overlander who's going into the desert would carry, because it's a lot. This is more like for a, I'd say like 95% asphalt world overlander. All right, folks, when it comes to packing all the gear into your motorbike, there are few things that you could consider, because the things you see here, they fall in different categories. There are things that are more heavy and things that are more lightweight. There are things that act more like a bumper, which can protect your motorbike while falling on the side. And there are things like fork seals that shouldn't get any pressure, right? And there are things that you need more often and things that you don't need so often. And depending on these kind of three categories, you could find out where to put the things, right? So obviously in these side bags, you should ensure there's some bumper function in there and nothing that could really kind of break because of hitting or falling on the side. The more heavy things go further down and the more lighter things go further up. And the same here with these bags. So the more heavy things, like the tools, probably go in here, and the more lighter things go in the bags up there. And again, like things that you need more often, don't put them at the very bottom, but put them more like at the top, because you're gonna get crazy every time you need something and need to pack everything out from your Moscow Moto set. Also, to put all these kind of things into this kind of rather little 80-liter Reckless bag, it took me like 5 times to kind of pack and unpack again over a period of several weeks. It's a constant optimization to find the right place for everything. You're probably not gonna make this at the first approach. So when you hit the road for the first time and go on your trip, definitely try to pack before you leave. Try it several days, even weeks before, and optimize it before you actually start, because you don't want to fall into the situation where you kind of start or you want to start and feel like, I don't get everything in, right? I hope you enjoyed this overview. If you think I'm missing anything, please let me know in the comment. I'm always happy to optimize, especially when it comes to the Yamaha Tenere 700. If you think any other parts could break on the road, which I should carry. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed yet, take the opportunity, it's free. And I hope to see you soon on the road again. Take care and always give life a smile. All right, guys, let's get packing now again.